Today, we're going to talk about the War Academy and the Truegold Tech Research that it unlocks in Kingshot. This happens at about day 210 on your server. So on my server, it was about day 210. And that means you've been playing the game for 210 days. And it also brings out the Truegold Dust, which is a brand new resource. But it also unlocks T11 Troops, which are the highest tier of troop you can get in the game. However, not the same as TG levels. With this research, a lot of stuff happens. There are many different rules for free-to-play versus pay-to-win versus medium spenders. So I'm going to go over everything you need to know about what to prioritize first, some tips and tricks and things to avoid, and how to get this resource and which one to focus on first. So T11 Troops, how does this work and what it does entail? So if you come into your troops here, let's go into my infantry. You'll see, of course, level 9, 10, 11. This is the T11 troops. They, of course, look very cool. And these were going to be all the way up to 1 to 11. So this is going to be the later tier. There will eventually be higher tier, but that's going to be in multiple months, even probably over a year for some of you. But you can see that the TG level, the Truegold level, does not change. So this is based on the building level. So this is a TG5 building, which means that it trains TG5 troops. No matter what tier of troop it is, 5, 6, 7, 8, doesn't matter. They're all TG5. However, T10 to T11 has other differences, and those are mostly in the stats. So looking at T10 and versus T11, the amount of stats difference is about 2 attack, 2 defense, 2 lethality. You can see that, it goes basically by 2 everywhere, and the load is a little bit more, which we don't really care about. Speed is the same, however. But if you look at, for example, 8 to 9, everything goes up by about 1 everywhere. 9 to 10, everything goes up by about 1. And then 10 to 11, everything goes up by 2. So this is the main difference. There is more stats being gotten from T11. So they are, of course, better. And for whales and rally leaders, they are extremely important, as it will make a very, very big difference. Same as for joiners. If you are someone who joins a rally or a garrison, which is basically 99% of players in this game, having the right type of troop at like TG5 or TG8 or whatever, and at T11 will make your whales, rally, or garrison much stronger. So this is why people are going to focus on certain types. And once you have that type unlocked, you will often join with only that troop type, and multiple people in an alliance will then have different types of troops that they join with. There's a lot of organization behind it all. But one thing to understand is that for almost every player in this game that is not a very large spender, the TG level is more important to achieve than T11. So having your troops at TG5 when TG5 is available, and having your troops at TG8 when TG8 is available, is a better investment than getting your troops at T11. That is because there is also the same kind of amount of stats, like between 4 and 5, there is one of the stats, 3 of this stat, 1 of this stat. So similar to 9, 10 to 11, for example. But also, you see there are new skills unlocked with troops. And when you get to TG8, there will also be more skills and levels and stuff like that. So the amount of strength you get from these troops are better. So this is something to keep in mind, because you will not be able to get all these troops at T11. It is extremely expensive, and you are going to require a lot of Truegold Dust, which the best way to get is by converting Truegold. So it is very hard to get this if you're not a spender. So you're going to have to choose very, very wisely. Now, talking about Truegold Dust, how does it work? So there is a few ways to get it. The first one is the exchange. The exchange is going to let you transfer gold into some. So 200 you can get basically for 1 million gold, and this is once a week. You can also have some at 50% off, which is 5 true gold for 13 dust. I believe this one is a very good buy. It's pretty high value, and I don't think you can do a lot. I think it's like something like 50 or something like that. It might even be less. In any case, it's pretty worth it. Like, it's a small amount and you get really good value out of it. Except, again, if you're a low spender, you want to make sure you have enough true gold to get your stuff at TG3, TG5, TG8. So you don't want to spend too much true gold getting this. You're going to get less from this exchange, and you're going to get from moving your troops and your building at TG5, for example. So this is something to keep in mind. Someone like me, who everything's at TG5 and I have 7,000, it is, of course, worth it. And then the same one here, this is 10 per 13, so the value is a lot less, but this one is unlimited. You can do 100 times over and over, and this is the main way most people are going to get Truegold Dust. So the rule here is if you're a very low spender, a very free-to-play player, you're going to get a lot of gold from Conquest Battle and daily stuff. To get from 0 all the way to unlocking a T11 troop, you need about 4.3 million gold. As you can see, the upgrade alone is 1 million gold. So even someone like me, who is a pretty decent medium/large spender, I am able to have 5.6 million. So if I want to get more than one troop here at T11, well, I don't even have enough gold if I wanted to. I'm going to have to buy gold, and it's very inefficient and very expensive to buy gold. So spenders, you don't really want to use gold, and you want to at least keep 4.3 million. And same for low spenders or free to play. You can use gold because it's free and more efficient for you to do it because you can't spend money. However, don't do too much. Keep yourself at 4 point something million because you most likely will only be able to get one T11 troop anyway, at least for a very long time. So if you keep enough for that, you can exchange the extra, but don't exchange too much because you're going to not be able to get to the level. So just something to keep in mind there. This is going to be your main source, but you're not going to be able to do a lot every week. Now, on the other hand, for spenders, as I said, if you're a spender, a whale, a kraken, no matter what, you will almost never touch gold because you will need gold and it's hard to get, as opposed to true gold, which for money is very easy to get. Like, you don't have to spend a ton of money to get a lot of true gold. So this is where someone like me will spend some of this, and I will get, you know, some of this Truegold Dust by doing this quite easily because I'm getting more true gold. And as I said, I am on TG5 right now, and I've been on TG5 for about 2 months, but there's about 6 months between TG5 and TG8. So I have almost 4 months left. I think it's like at day 300 and something, and I'm only at day like 200 something. So I have a lot of months left before I get to TG8, so I can afford to do this and exchange it. There is also other ways, of course, buying packs. There are packs of True Gold. There are other packs here with True Gold, and there's going to be more and more packs of True Gold. It's going to be everywhere. Very easy. If you spend money, there's True Gold everywhere. But there's also this pack here, True Gold Myth, which gives very little amount, but it does give a good amount of gold. So this is a good purchase, especially for the gold, even more than the dust. But the dust is also, of course, present. And on top of that, the other way, and probably the best way, is going to be the trial shop. So the trial shop, you are familiar. You get trial crystal from the Mystic Trial. You've seen this. I've been buying Mithril and other items for a long time. They are very, very worth it. And you are also able to buy Truegold Dust here. Truegold Dust here is very expensive. You need 15,000 of these crystals to empty the shop, and you get like, I think 300. So it's very decent. The price is decent and you get a lot of it, but you are not getting 15,000 trial crystal a week by doing the regular stuff. So the more you can save up in advance, the better. Like, I have 11,000 left. I've purchased everything because I had been saving up. If you're early into your account, it's a good idea to try and save up. Don't spend on stuff that you don't need. The material is still very good. Everything else here is good, but True Gold and Truegold Dust are some of the highest value items in the games. So just something to keep in mind, especially if you're a joiner and free to play and low spender. Having stronger hero gear has no value because you're joining other people's rally. You're not really rallying with your own heroes. So there is a point to be made here where saving most of your trial crystal is very good move. Now, talking about the Truegold Research itself. So there are a lot of strategies here. Of course, there's a T11 of every type. Now, for free to play and low spenders, the maximum value strategy is to get the 5 levels of this one, of this one, and of this one. This just makes it so you can deploy more troops. This makes you get more rewards joining other people's rally. You don't have to have as many people joining because you're deploying more troops. The rally leader capacity is getting up as well because there is one for rally capacity. So the more people are bringing troops, the less people you need, the easier it is to fill stuff, etc. So it's a very good thing, the deployment capacity, and it works in all other content of the game. So it's very decent, which means that if you're sending a march solo against something, well, you're sending more troops with one solo march. So also stronger in that aspect. So getting all 3 of these is not very expensive. You will be able to get, you know, I can see like even the last one is like, it's expensive enough. It's like 100 of these, but whatever. It's not that much. Once you've gotten all 3 of these, then you will choose a lane. So if you're not spending thousands and thousands of dollars in this game, you are going to take a long time to get to one troop T11. So you will work towards that goal. Now you will need to max pretty much everything beforehand. So you can see all of the stuff behind. I will need to max it at all to get this. So this is going to be where you're going to have to consult with your alliance and your leaders and your R4s, because not everybody can go for the same troop. Infantry is by far the most in-demand troop in the game. It's used in rallying, but it's also used in garrison, and usually more of it is used. There is often ratios of like 60% infantry with like 40% cav, or 60% infantry with like 20-20, or, you know, even 50% infantry and 50% archer, which is another play that happens later on in the game. But there's always a lot of infantry. So there's going to be many players with infantry. After Generation 4, it becomes a lot more infantry cavalry with almost no archer on defense, which means that as most players, garrison is a lot harder to fill and keep full than joining a rally once and filling it up. It's very easy to fill up a rally. It's harder to keep a garrison full. So most people are going to do infantry and cavalry for the lower spenders. So this is some, you know, general consensus based on my experience and my alliance and my opinion. Now, everyone is going to have different opinion, and different servers are going to have different opinion, but this still seems to be somewhat generally respected in the game. But do consult with your R4s and stuff like that before making a decision. However, it's important that you go for only one. Like, you will not be able to get everything. The amount of TG dust required and true gold and speed ups is pretty insane. So for one of these, you need, like I said, about 4 million gold. You need about, I think, 13 to 14,000 Truegold Dust, and then about like 150 days of speed up. So it is not cheap, and especially not the Truegold Dust part. So keep that in mind. It's going to be very expensive, and the gold is very long to get because you don't get that much. You just get a little bit every day from the conquest, and you can purchase it from pack, but it's excessively expensive and not really worth it. Now for Wells, the slight difference is that you will likely go for the Truegold Legionnaire, so the rally capacity of all 3 lanes, which means you're going to have to max out a few more things for stats. So you'd get these 4, you'd get these 4, you get these 4, and then you'd push for the tier 11 troop of 1, 2, or all 3 types, depending on your level of crickedness. Like if you're a huge spender, if you're a lower Wells, middle Wells, whatever, you're going to get 1 T11, maybe 2 T11, and work there's a third one. But getting the Truegold Legionnaire everywhere is going to give you much bigger rally, much stronger rallies. It's, you know, 33,000 times 3, so it's almost 100,000 more troops per rally. It's a huge difference. It's way more important than having slightly stronger troops. But this is pretty much the only variation, other than the fact that you're going to do the exchange different. Now, just to recap, as I said, TG5 is better than T11, and TG8 is also better than T11 troops. You want to get these levels before. So leveling up all of these buildings at TG5 is going to be a higher priority than getting the true gold here. So you can still do some research and stuff, like I am doing a little bit here and there, and you should of course also wait for KVK, because there is points for spending speed ups and true gold and Truegold Dust and everything in KVK, so it's a good thing to wait for KVK. But you know, you can still do a little bit of research done using speed ups and stuff slowly, but other than that, you don't want to use too much of anything. There is even more Truegold Research that comes in after over a year of server age, and there is going to be T12 troops eventually, and there's going to be TG8, then TG10 and TG11. This is endless and ongoing, so it's still, you know, I wouldn't go too crazy about it. If you're well and you're spending, have fun. But for free-to-play and low spenders, you know, keep to your lane, keep to your role. You will get a T11 troops eventually. It'll take you months, but you will get there. You will have value joining a rally. You will also have TG5 and TG8 troops by just staying, you know, consistent, being active, being in a big alliance, and not wasting on other things than your one goal kind of thing. And some players are going to have different goal in terms of which troop to focus on, but that's kind of how it works, and you are going to be able to fulfill that role very well by focusing on having the highest TG troops that you can have and the T11 troops that you can have while you are doing your job, and that is what matters. Now, if anyone else has more tips about the War Academy and any more things, please, of course, make sure to share in the comments below. The last thing to mention is that when you do unlock the War Academy, it starts at TG level 1. So you will have to bring this one to TG level 5 to unlock most research. And you also get a bit of research speed. So, you know, and it is going to be expensive. It does cost a lot of TG to level up. But you can see I need the War Academy at TG4 to even do this upgrade. So this is another place where you're going to use TG. So just be careful not to use all your TG into dust before you've done that, even if you have a lot like me. On that, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on my next video.